acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which this episode is filmed. Thank you for joining us for part 3 of our epic adventure to the high country. If you haven't seen any of our previous episodes, we made our way from Goulburn to Bright and then Bright to Mount Pinnibar, and I suggest you go back and check them out. In this episode, we spend our time sitting on the banks of the Swampy Plains River, as well as going back up to Mount Pinnibar and then across to Mount Gibbo. Day 5. Settling in at Jihai. Jihai is a wonderful place. I personally have been coming here for my entire life. There's many things to see and do, and much wildlife around. Kangaroos, birds, koalas, possums, you see it all at Geehi. This is the Swampy Plains River. Nestled in among the valleys, this beautiful river houses many trout, both rainbow and brown. Over the years, we've noticed the kangaroos get a little bit more domesticated as the years have gone by. With plenty of river crossings and easy four-wheel drive tracks around, there's lots to do at Jihai. How good. Not a bad way to finish the day, sitting around the campfire with friends. Day 6. From Mount Pinnibar to Gibbo and stuck in a rut along the way. When we woke in the morning, we were met with a slight dew. But it wasn't long till the sun came out and burnt through the clouds, and we knew we were in for an awesome day. As we packed up with family and friends in Hundo, we headed off for a great adventure. This is the Mount Pinnibar track, and in previous episodes we'd come down this track, which was a lot easier on the way down. That was the bit we wanted to try and make it past. After a few attempts, it was decided we needed to air down more and give it the gusto. This climb is not for the faint-hearted. In years gone by, it has been a beginner's track, but as the years have gone on, the ruts have got bigger and the challenge has increased dramatically. Here we go. One more, no more. So we had one go, then two goes, and then a couple more. The track was even too hard for the camera mounts. As they say, the camera doesn't do it justice, but this is a steep, technical challenge. But with that, we were up and over the challenging part of the track. And I can tell you, we felt relief. Next destination, Mount Pinnibar, where we'd spent the previous night. If you haven't seen that episode, head on back and watch it now. From the top of Mount Pinnibar, we made our way back down the ridgeline and across to Mount Gibbo. When we made it, we were met with more glorious views. As we like to say, it doesn't look like this at home. After lunch, it was time to head back down the mountain to Jihai. The all-round trip took over 5 hours and was quite taxing on both Hundo and the passengers, but a great time was had by all. Because as is said, seek discomfort and you will find enjoyment at the other side. When we came back down the mountain, we crossed over the Murray River again and we were back into New South Wales, making our way back towards Geehi. As the night was coming to a close, we all sat around the fire and reflected over a good hearty meal on the day we'd just experienced. On day 7, it was decided, being our last full day, that everyone was going to enjoy their version of Jihai, whether that be swimming, walking, fishing, four-wheel driving, the list goes on. But if you wanted to do it, you could. This place is truly magical. From the sights, to the sounds, to the view and the feel. This place has it all. And with enjoyment in mind, it's now time to sit back and relax and enjoy, as you get to experience the Jihai we experienced. As mentioned, everybody got their perfect version of Jihai, and for me, it was four-wheel driving and fishing. I was lucky enough to catch these two. What a great catch. Towards the end of the day, it was decided to go for one last four-wheel drive to explore a couple more tracks and river crossings. We made our way from Jihai to a local spot just up the road. With a hearty stew and good conversation around the fire, our final night of holiday was spent having a wonderful time. But as we laid our heads on the final night, the clouds rolled in. On day 8, we were put to the test once more, as it was time to pack up in the wet and head on home. With hundo all packed and the swag strapped down, it was time to make our way home. We were roughly facing a 7-hour journey. As we made our way out of the mountains and towards Cancoban, we reflected on a wonderful holiday had. We stopped for lunch on the way home, and a hot feed of fish and chips was on the menu. As time went by, so did the kilometres, and we crept our way closer and closer to home. As we backed into the driveway, we were both happy and sad. We were happy to be back home to our families, but also sad that one of the most memorable holidays was coming to a close. And until our next adventure, as always, we'll see you around the next corner.